Crazy Joe, but now they can call me Batman.
What up? Welcome back to the Necro Zoo. I am Bones. And in this one, let's go ahead and add one more figure to my McFarlane DC Multiverse collection. Now this time it will be Batgirl from the Three Jokers wave. Now I have reviewed two more figures from this wave. One is the Joker the comedian, and then Joker the criminal. So this will be my third figure from this wave. I will still be missing the Joker the clown and Red Hood, and right now everybody is missing Batman. He has been nowhere to be found. Now this is the version of Batgirl from the comic book storyline, The Three Jokers. I am really interested to take a look at her, so let's go ahead and get into it. But first, she does come with your standard black DC Multiverse stand. It is not needed, but sometimes useful. She also comes with her data file card. On the front, you do have some figure photography. And on the back, you do have some information. Go ahead and add this to the collection. She does come with two accessories. The first being this yellow batarang. Pretty much stylized like a bat symbol, but pretty nice little accessory. And then she also comes with this grapnel gun, pretty large, and no paint apps to speak of, but of course we can always fix that, no problem. But actually pretty nice. Kind of interesting to see how McFarlane is getting around that gun ban, because this is a grapnel gun, but it's shaped pretty weird to where you could kind of tell it's not an actual firearm. Pretty interesting. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at her. Now, first impressions. This is more of a classic styled Batgirl. Very different from the first one that we received, which was more like its own stylized version, but this one is more a classic look. Really like the yellow that they chose to use on this figure, and then that's kind of a dark gray, which really gives it some contrast and separation, so that is really nice looking. She does have a kind of like a motionless look to her face, or it might even look like she's a little bit peed off. And then of course she is looking to the side there, which is McFarlane's new thing. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at the head. Right off, first thing, like I said, the eyes, they off looking this way. It's starting not to bother me so much, but it does limit the way you can pose her, because you have to pose her, especially if you're standing her next to other figures. You kind of have to pose her to where she's like looking at them, because if not, they're on one side and she's looking off to the other. So it's okay. It's growing on me. I didn't like it at first, but it does actually give you like more of a variety of how you can pose her, or like what she's actually doing in the pose, where now you can actually have her like looking at something or jumping in the air and then turn that way, which is rather interesting. I'm trying to warm up to it. And then always, of course, if they ever do another one, they can always just paint the eyes straight on, so it's not really that big of a deal, but it is polarizing to some. Now, let's take a look at the articulation. She can look down slightly, but she's really restricted from looking up because of her hair, but she does have left to right. And then you can tilt her head for some character. Now, all that aside, the actual design of the cowl looks really good. It really like fits her face. So all in all, the package is really good. Let's go ahead and move down. Now she does have one of those like over cowls here above on the top of her chest, which scrolls down to a pretty nice bat emblem there. Going down, pretty sweet, cool, classic capsule belt. Let's check out the articulation in the waist. Now you can rock her from side to side. You can twist her around. Full range of motion. She does have upper abdomen swivel, and then she does have lower ab swivel. You can tilt her forward. You could tilt her back. And then you can twist her to put her in some pretty cool poses. All in all, she looks pretty good. Let's take a look at her arms. She does have butterfly shoulder joints. She can move her arms way up past 90 degrees. She does have a bicep swivel. And then she does have double jointed elbows. Transitioning down into her gauntlets, she has her little blades there. Pretty small wrist ball joint, so that's nice. That does give her added articulation. And then she does have both like grasping / trigger hands, which is fine. You know, it looks good. All in all, pretty decent release. I mean, if you want a classic Batgirl, this is definitely in your alley. Let's go ahead and take a look at the thigh swivel. Thigh swivel is minimal. Not sure, but it feels like it's budding up there underneath the trunks area. But you can still cock out her leg and then show off the double jointed knees. Straighten it up. She does have articulation at the ankle, up and down. She also has left to right. Pretty sweet ankle pivot. And then of course, she does have toe articulation. These legs are really nice. I really like the boot design, which is actually comes from the original release, but she's missing like some spikes on there. And I think those look more like athletic shoe, while these look more boot. So it's all good. Take a look at her from the bottom. Some beautiful, awesome boot tread. I don't know why, but I just love boot tread. I mean, when a figure has tread, it's just like figure porn to me. I just like, oh man, I love me some boot tread. Moving up, pretty nice thin sculpt of legs. And then going under the cape, beautiful bat booty. And then some more sculpt work there on the belt. Now let's take a look at the cape. Kind of stylized to one direction, but it looks really good and has a lot of folds. I really love the yellow underneath. It gives it a pretty aesthetic look, but it's also consistent with the comics. And then of course her hair, actually really nicely sculpted hair with more of a matte finish, which is really nice. It's not, doesn't look too plastic. It looks just in between of shiny and dull, which is really nice. All in all, beautiful figure. I will be adding her to the collection. Now she does have her accessories. Of course, the yellow batarang fits in her hand quite easily. And then you can put in this grapnel gun. I would think it would be a little bit harder, but no, it does slide in pretty smoothly. Now this is where this is where her eyes, I mean, she has her grapnel like this and she's kind of looking away, And even if you turn, you know, it's kind of messed up, but you can turn her this way, and then it is, you know, in line, you know, with the way she's aiming. But it is a pretty hefty grapnel gun, and I do kind of want to add probably some silver or maybe even some bronze or gold to the parts, which would be pretty fun. Now, before we go, first up, let's go ahead and bring out the original release, which was this. I always like the head sculpt on this one, even though she has those like little ears. But I liked her cape, and it is different from this one. But I think she really had a cute, you know, face in this one, a face sculpt. That, even though she has her domino mask, it's still could tell she has like nice features, the little rounded chin, and I always liked this figure. I just thought she was a little tall. I do have her knees bent a little so that she's not too tall here, because that's how I have her on display. But she's a really beautiful figure as well. Let's go ahead and check her out next to some other figures. First, the classic DC superheroes Batgirl. You can see we've come a long way from that around 6-inch scale to what we're at now. And then the Batman Unlimited Batgirl, where they just change the colors, but it's basically a lot of the same parts. Let's put her up next to Dick Grayson, Nightwing, in his red outfit. And then let's take a look at her next to my custom unhooded Red Hood. Love that figure, looking really good with his domino mask. And then to take a look at her with someone in her wave, let's put her next to the criminal Joker. And then let's take a look at her next to my custom Harley Quinn from the Birds of Prey with her high heel shoes, with that lovely egg sandwich. All in all, pretty simple release, but she is a really nice looking figure. It's a pleasure to add her to my shelf. You guys keep hunting out there, keep collecting, keep customizing, and I will see you on the next one.